Welcome back, everyone, for the 13th edition of the Bourbon Judge. Today we have a guest, if you remember from one of the earlier episodes, my cousin Anita. Welcome back.
Hi, everyone.
All right, so today we're going to go ahead and review Weller Bourbon. So a couple cool things about Weller. So Weller is owned by Buffalo Trace Distillery, and they kind of date back to the 1840s. So the story is W.L. Weller started making bourbon in like the 1840s. And one cool thing about W.L. Weller, he changed the game a little bit. As we know, bourbon, the primary ingredient is corn, but the second primary ingredient typically is rye. For this, all of Weller bourbons is wheated bourbon. So that's the second primary ingredient after corn. So they kind of changed it up a little bit. But like most bourbons, this is a Kentucky-based bourbon. So obviously go back to the Kentucky roots, which is great. And this bourbon is really neat. Again, the entire line of Wellers, again, is a wheat-based bourbon. So it's like the second primary ingredient. From an availability standpoint, Weller is a bit challenging to find because Weller is owned by Buffalo Trace. And many years ago, Weller actually joined forces with Pappy Van Winkle. It's the creme de la creme, if you will, of bourbon. So this can be a bit challenging to find a little bit. From a price standpoint, this one costs about $30, $35.
That's great.
So it's not too bad on the wallet. The problem is, again, just finding it. You know, unless you live in the state of Texas, it's very challenging to find. But let's go ahead and pick it up from the nose. Let's just kind of see what we're smelling here. Got a deep, dark chestnut brown, which I like.
And definitely those hints of caramel.
Okay.
Not so much oak.
Yep, I agree. I think the wheat maybe throws it off a little bit, changes it.
I think the wheat, yep, definitely changes the profile a bit.
Absolutely. I smell a little bit, some fruit almost, a little bit. Maybe some berries, but not too much though.
Not too heavy.
More caramel, you're right. Very deep, almost sweet smelling, right? All right, well, let's get into the best part of this.
Taste it.
Taste it. Cheers. Happy Memorial Day, by the way, to everyone. Hope everyone's enjoying some time with friends and family. Okay.
So,
what do you pick up?
That's quite nice.
It is.
Very easy on the palate.
I agree.
Many times with bourbon, you feel bourbon.
You do. You feel it going down.
You feel it going down.
Yep, absolutely.
But with this one, pretty mild.
It is. Pretty smooth going down. Very just neat
smooth.
and very smooth going down the palate. It doesn't burn. It doesn't have that traditional burn.
Exactly.
Nice.
And was quite nice.
It is.
Nice. And so I think sometimes too, when you look at things from a different palate standpoint, if you are someone who is maybe just getting into bourbon and things of that nature, this may actually be a great choice because it doesn't have quite that punch that bourbon can have with
Agreed.
it.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think the nice thing about this is that it's very smooth going down. This is a bourbon that I think you can absolutely drink neat, right? Very nice. As we're drinking it today, very neat. You don't always need to add ice or put it into a mixed drink. This is something that you can truly enjoy. This is the quintessential, really good bourbon. Yeah, I have another little sip. This is great.
Yes. Quite nice.
Very smooth. Well, folks, again, we're drinking the Weller Special Reserve. As I said, they do make a couple different types. They make the antique. They make the 12-year Weller, also the craft year perfect bourbon Weller. But of all of them, this is actually my favorite, and it's the most economical. So you can't get anything better than that. So, Anita, I'm going to ask you for what's your judgment on this bourbon? Is this something that you yourself would go out and buy again?
Absolutely. It is a buy for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a buy for my cousin. So for me, as I always say, the verdict is in. This is an absolute buy. You cannot go wrong with Weller Special Reserve. A true, wonderful bourbon that is honestly probably the reason why so many people enjoy it and love it, such as myself and my cousin. Cheers.
Cheers. Have a great Memorial Day, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in. And don't forget,
please subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.